We're here with Tyler Miller, goalkeeper of LAFC. Tyler, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me, Herc.
Now, Tyler, this has been a historic season for LAFC. Most points in a regular season, most goals scored, supporters shield locked up pretty much by 5 weeks before the season ends. What has made you guys so dominant this season?
Well, I think this year we've continued what we worked on so much last year, and that's our ability to play out of the back, the confident style that Bob's instilled in the entire team. And I think that this year we've really grasped that and have added a few more players that have really bolstered our roster and our lineup.
One of those players, without a doubt, is Carlos Vela. And when we talk about these historic records achieved, Carlos Vela just demolished defenses in Major League Soccer like no other. He broke Joseph Martinez's goal-scoring record of 31, 34 goals scored, 15 assists. What has made Carlos Vela just so dominant in Major League Soccer?
I think it's just the confidence. I think that he approached every training with that same swagger and confidence that he shows on the field. And this year, it's been amazing and incredible to watch. And every time he cuts in on that left foot and curls it to the upper 90, I know it's going in.
Now, I've said before that here in Los Angeles, you guys put on quite a show. You go to you guys' games, and there are celebrities everywhere. One of the celebrities is Will Ferrell. Has it surprised you how much of a hands-on owner Will Ferrell has been?
He's been one of the most enthusiastic and energetic guys. After the game, he comes on the field, he's shaking hands with all the players, and he loves it. He comes to the locker room, he's partying with us. Like, it's been incredible to see.
What's Will Ferrell's tactical analysis like? Does he give you anything?
I mean, he gives us a lot. I think that his game, he's learned a lot from the movies that he's produced, and I think that in Kicking and Screaming, he has a very unique style of play, and it's always give it to the Italians. And I think he comes and he tells us, always give it to the Mexican in Carlos.
Carlos Vela, and it's worked so far for you guys.
It has.
Straight up question, why hasn't LAFC been able to beat the LA Galaxy?
I think that each derby has had its own story. I mean, it's been a challenging test every time we played them, and I mean, they've got a very talented player in Zlatan, and I think that he's performed well in those games, and I think that this playoff game will be one of the most exciting games of the year. Now,
I've gotten the opportunity to interview Zlatan, and I asked him if he wants to go into movies and maybe be like a villain type of role. He said he wouldn't mind that. He says maybe it's in his future. Do you see Zlatan having a role in Hollywood?
I think he would fit in very well with his stature and how he carries himself.
Now, what makes Zlatan just so difficult for you guys? Because he's been the boogeyman for LAFC.
I mean, he's a world-class player. You can't argue with the clubs that he's played with, where he's gone, the things that he's done. I mean, it's just hard to match up against him, and he's a special player, but I think that this playoff match will be different.
So no doubt, Carlos Vela and Zlatan are two very important players for their respective clubs. Yes. Who is more important to their club?
I think that Carlos has been very important for our club. I think that, yes, he's been irreplaceable on the field, but what he does off the field for our locker room and for our team has been something that true leaders have.
Now, last year you had the unfortunate incident of being one and done in the playoffs against RSL. How much does that weigh on your mind going to what is a 2-week layoff before you play your next game? Can you learn from those past experiences?
I think so. I mean, last year we were an inexperienced team. It was our first time in the playoffs, and so everybody that was in that game has learned from that experience. And I think this year we're really focused on taking each game at a time, and we recognize that you win 2 games and we're in the MLS Cup final.
Well, give me your pick right now for the MLS Cup final. Who will it be? Which 2 teams?
Well, I think it'll be LAFC versus Atlanta.